Hey everyone, PushingUpRoses here. Welcome back to my art channel. You are looking at one of my favorite paintings I've ever done. I just call it the spine, and it was meant to look like a spine. Here's another one that was meant to look like an x-ray and a spine. And yet another one that looks like some kind of horrific body horror spine. I get a lot of questions on how I do these types of pours and how I do these types of paintings. One of my specialties is body horror and working with red, black, and white. And before I show you that, I just want to show you these awesome paper towels I bought. They were out of the regular paper towels because of the quarantine. Those are extra durable napkins that I've been using for these pours. Highly recommend them. So anyway, tutorial. Red, black, and white, very difficult colors to work with, and I'm using a split cup so that they don't blend too much. So I start with a little bit of red, and then I go ahead and layer black and white, and sometimes I mix it up. None of my spine pours really turn out the same. A lot of them differ, just because sometimes I layer them different, sometimes I stack them differently, but I always use the same technique and the same colors. So yeah, as I said, I do specialize in some body horror. I've always wanted to bring kind of more morbid, macabre body horror art to abstract styles. So I thought this was a good way to do it. I love working with these colors. Like I said, they are slightly difficult because they can blend if you're not careful. I tried to stack them in a way that they're not going to blend too much. The paint itself is the Artist Loft Flow Acrylic mixed with Floetrol. And to be honest, I've been having some bad luck with Floetrol lately, especially with the spine pours, which, yeah, I'm just calling them spine pours now. I've been having some bad luck with those, in that it seems like the Floetrol formula is not the same and the binding has been breaking, so I haven't been able to get my really intense shapes that I want. But here's how I typically do it. After I'm done stacking my split cup, I do a jiggle pour down the middle. You can already kind of see, you know, that vertebrae kind of shape in the middle there, and then you have these fingerlings along the side. My paint is on the thicker side. It's not crazy. It used to be thicker, honestly, before I've been having trouble with Floetrol, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this jiggle pour 3 times. I start in the middle and then I go up the side so that I have enough paint to cover the canvas and so that I can keep some of my shapes. Doesn't always work. It really depends on the tilt. The tilt is actually very important in these pours. I still think you can get something good even if you go kind of crazy with the tilt. There's not necessarily a wrong way to do a tilt, but if you want the shapes that I'm showing you, you want to retain them, say pointing out the spine there for you guys, then the tilt is important, and I go slow and deliberately. I also put some extra paint on the corners and around the shapes themselves, just so I had a better chance of getting a better flow in retaining my shapes. So enjoy the tilt. Now watching this back, I kind of see where I kind of lost some of my shape that I wanted. I think when I poured to the left, I overstretched it. And yeah, that can happen, you know, when you have a kind of a larger canvas like this, you're going for a specific shape. I think I was happy with what I was seeing prior. Obviously, I'm recording this after the fact, so I'm kind of seeing where I may have gone wrong. And this is where I really kind of lose my shape. I was pretty intent on getting that corner. I don't know why. And then I kind of lost control of the middle spine. But you know what? It still turned out awesome. I can still see that vertebrae in the middle there. And then on the sides, it kind of looks like a splash of different things. Blood, organs. I'm sorry if this is not your jam. This probably sounds crazy. Not a lot of acrylic pourers do more macabre paintings like this, so I'm sorry if this is your first time here and this is what you're seeing. But this was the final pour. I stopped at this because I wanted to retain that middle. But I think there's so many areas of interest in this pour. Those colors are so beautiful together. I like some of the fingerlings retained. I don't know what else to call them. Other painters call them fingerlings, so I call them that too. But here's a close-up of some of those colors and some of the cells. Oh, I really think it's gorgeous. This is the dry version, and I think it's incredible. I'm really, really happy with this piece. I especially like, if you see those kind of in between the vertebrae, there are those little, I don't know what to call them, little blood droplets or spots. That happened because I did torch this painting. I didn't torch it a lot because you don't really need to. The Floetrol actually produces plenty of cells when you're torching. And if you have a bad batch of Floetrol, like I seem to be working with these days, then you'll get even more cell creation. But I did torch it a little bit just to get the air bubbles, but this is how I do the spine pours, as I call them. I'm just gonna call them the spine pour. You can use different colors if you want to, but I think to get that kind of vertebrae look, you want to stick to the red, white, and black. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you'll give these kind of pours a try. Do something a little bit darker, a little more visceral with your acrylic pouring and with your abstracts. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!